piece of equipment meant to make my records sound better actually made them sound worse. I'll tell you how this happened, how you can avoid it, and how you can use a spin clean to help make your records sound great forever. So about 5 years back, I picked this guy up, the spin clean. I think this was my first real investment in my record collection. I'm pretty sure I still had an all-in-one record player at the time. I didn't have a lot of money, but I knew that I wanted my records to sound better. I knew that I had dirty records that maybe weren't sounding the best and that I could get them to sound better. So I managed to scrimp and save. I got about $100 together and I bought the spin clean. If you're not familiar with this bad boy, it is this yellow basin that you fill up with distilled water. They have this little soap that comes with it as well. You put a cap of the soap in. It has these 2 wheels and 2 brushes. You slide your record between the brush. You rotate it 3 times to the left, 3 times to the right. Give it a shake. I like to air dry them and I stack them up, and that works great for me. I know that there's some people who like to rinse their records after they put it through the solution rinse. I've tried this. I didn't really see much of a difference, but hey, if it works for you, go for it. Over the years, I've cleaned every single record that I own using this method, which by now is probably around 1,500 records, and I have to say the results are outstanding. One of the first records I ever actually cleaned with it was this Rush record I picked up from a garage sale for $2. It was dirty, covered in huge scuffs and scratches. It made a ton of noise. It sounded terrible. I put it through the spin clean once and it sounded brand new. It was night and day. I was hooked from then and there. The company also has incredible customer service. A few years back, I went to clean some records and the basin had appeared to warp. My record wouldn't fit between the brushes. I emailed the company to see if there was maybe a basin that I could buy from them or if they had a recommendation of how to fix it. They asked for my address and a week later they shipped me a brand new one. Unbelievable, did not expect that. Customer for life, will always recommend them. Great company, great product. But recently I had an issue with my spin clean. See, I tend to batch clean. I wait a month, 2 months, whatever it is, till I have a big stack of records. I clean 30, 40, 50 of them in one day, leave them out to dry, I listen to them, I put them into anti-static inner sleeves. I have a day of it, I have fun with it. So I'm cleaning these records and I noticed that there's a little bit of a smell on the brushes. Not so much that it was like an alarm, like, oh God, like what's going on, but just a little bit that I noticed it. And as I'm cleaning the records, once they dry, I like to play them. There were records that I had bought brand new that I had played maybe a day or 2 before, and they sounded good. There was maybe a little bit of noise that I thought that a wet clean would help fix. Suddenly I was playing these records and they sounded terrible. They sounded muddy, distorted, more noise, like someone had put blankets over my speakers, and every record I played was like this, and it terrified me that I had somehow done something wrong and I had ruined hundreds of dollars worth of like these awesome records. I've cleaned so many records using this exact same method. I had no idea what was happening. I'd done this exactly the same way I'd done it for years and never had an issue. What happens when you use the spin clean is that you do need to dry the brushes every time. It is possible that the previous time I'd used it, I had not fully dried them and perhaps they got some gunk on them, some mold. They'd started to stink, and it's possible that some of this residue and crap that was in the brushes started to get onto the record. However, I did some research online and some other people had reported having the same issue. The way that they got over it was they changed out their brushes. They got new water, they got new soap. So I ended up ponying up the $30. I got new brushes and I took all of the records that had sounded like crap, and thankfully I was able to resurrect them. They all sounded great, but all the other records that I had bought in the meantime too and have been cleaning sound incredible and even better than records that I had cleaned previously. And I gotta say that I think that if you own a spin clean, it's worthwhile to replace the brushes every once in a while because they degrade, they become less effective, and they don't clean as well. And I mean, they hold on to stuff no matter how well you wash them. So highly, highly recommend doing this. I mean, even in a year from now, if the brushes are still in good condition and aren't making my records sound terrible, I still think I might replace them just because it has made that much of a difference. So don't get fooled the way I did. Make sure you wash and dry your brushes properly, store it in a well-ventilated area, and if you've had the same brushes for a couple of years, maybe consider putting out a bit of money and getting new brushes. It's the cost of, one new record, and it'll make all of your records sound better. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.